I can see my life for the first time in some time, without judgment or expectations or budgets. I know that I'm susceptible to the show, 'cause I'm so close to the glitz and the glow. Yeah, it's hard not to chase the zeros when they're dangled in front of your nose. That's just the way that it goes in the games we play. It's all about the X's and O's. But down here by the water, none of that matters. All of those worries, they float away. It's gonna take me walking away for good. I know I'm capable of making a change, and maybe it's time that I should. Can't help but feel like I'm slowing down. I might miss my chance if I don't act now. Down here by the water, none of that matters. All of those worries, they float away. Life is getting harder and more complicated every day. But down by the water, all of that noise fades. Down here by the water, nothing else matters. No, all of the pressure and the worries and the pain, it floats away.
Thank you.
nothing but facts. She make you want to ride home. You're so proud to call your own. She's my grand inspiration, my valid confirmation to write a love song. She's a perfect symphony, it makes it easy for me to write a love song. I could go on and on. She makes me wanna write a love song. I've got to admit, I talk about her all the time. I hope you don't mind. She makes me feel brand new. With everything that we do, we have something so fine. She makes me want to ride home. I'm so proud to call her my own. She's my grand inspiration, my family confirmation to write a love song. She's a perfect symphony, it makes it easy for me to write a love song. I could go on and on. She makes me wanna write a love song. Makes me wanna write a love song. Makes me wanna write a love song. Inspiration, confirmation to write a love song. She's a perfect symphony. It makes it easy for me to write a love song. I could go on and on. She makes me want to write a love song. She's my grand inspiration, my valid confirmation to write a love song. She's a perfect symphony. It makes it easy for me to write a love song. I could go
And they have this tiny garden and it's like tiny, tiny room inside.
町のなんとか村みたいな感じで作ってるかっていうのが分かんない、だからね本当になんとか村なんですよ、中世村なんですけど、だからそれが実際にこう
Ukončete prosím výstup, Anna.
I drink my faith in dollar bills, so I can say I wasn't here. We're drunk enough to cover up the day. We watch the singles fight the times, they try desperately to find a body warm enough to keep the night alive. Ancient movies on the wall, cigarettes for quick withdrawals, pick the ice to laugh it all away. Strangers in the tired light share the story of their lives as we make up the words of the night. Oh, what do you say? Forget the words of the day. What do you mean? The world will stop as we spin our dreams on. Mary Green with fingertips that only count whatever sticks, pockets wide but with a never beautiful. Turn our feelings into stones, roll them into waves alone, cast them far away from anywhere we know. Boots and heels crowd the floor, through puddles of the alcohol, and run another round of games they play. The tender makes his nightly call, and chatter in the bathroom stall will tell themselves they'll meet another day. Oh, what do you say? Forget the words of a day to day. What do you mean? The world will stop as we spin our dreams on. Graffiti on a wall of bricks and broken bottles just for kicks. Jokers on the side for every call. They're closing tabs, but nothing wrong to drink or either play along as we make plans to one day see it all. Like the waves of attraction lead deep to the blue as I tread through. Fleeting all the sands of time, falling slowly through these hands, and in these moments so divine that come this way through will or chance, will these teardrops still remain even when the sea waves break? Wandering through the day and night, through the night, through the night. Come on, watch the tides with me. Come on, gaze the sea with me. Come on, watch the tides with me. Come on, gaze the sea with me. Like the waves of attraction lead deep to the blue as I tread through. And if this path would wash away, then there will be another way. And if this path would wash away, then there will be another way. Tired of the way that you feel. Is it real? Tired of the way that you feel. Is it real? It's the lullaby straight till the morning. Oh, how we keep it going. This love is only moments, girl. And you know I'm carrying the world. So just fuck me like the side boy. Save me from all of the pain and the drama. Playing whisper down the lane with my problems. Hope it's somebody gonna solve them. And so I lose myself in labor. Time to cry when the day's filled. But when the lights turn low and there's no one here, can I shed a tear? Can you lullaby me? so baby, can you love me? I really want that lullaby. So love my body, lullaby me, oh love my body. Ooh, so baby, can you love? Yeah, I really want that lullaby. Yeah, oh, oh.
Гадай, желание.
Все, гадай, гадай.
Eyes have gone bad, but oh, Eddie, down you on the drop, oh, Eddie, down you.
Books written by
Guess
Protestant.
most of the scientists.
Yeah. Do you know what Sudoku is? Because there is a kind of Sudoku, I'll show you. Yeah. You probably the book written by Nicholas Copernicus. This book was copied by a group of mathematicians. And there is a dark square of grammar school and two faculties of Charles University, Faculty of Philosophy and Faculty of Everything was closed in this room. It was completely dark here. Why three holes? Why three holes? Because the beam of light doesn't fall. And please be careful going down. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
inches.
Tak, a sedmička, jo. A tam má vysoká. No, to je...
Mama chce to pytał, tady, ale já čemu? Hlavně, že on to pytá.
Agora daqui.